Hey, good morning, everyone. So I've been up for a while, since 2:30 this morning. So hopefully I got all my words straight and get this right. But I just wanted to do a video about bullying because bullying's kind of a popular topic right now. A lot of people think that kids shouldn't be bullied. A lot of parents try to protect their kids from bullying, and I agree with it to an extent, but to another extent, I don't agree with it. And I'll share my opinion here. And for a lot of you, I've had a lot of clients come to me. I just want to share my experience with bullying, first of all. And I want to share it because a lot of clients come to me and they say, Sharon, you don't know what it's like. When I was younger and I got bullied all the time. It almost was like I was invisible or just being bullied. Like people wouldn't look at me in the eye and all this kind of stuff. And I just wanted to share my experience because, believe it or not, yeah, I never had the experience of being overweight as a kid. I didn't, and I can't say that. But I did have the experience of being bullied and being different. And I had a lot of lonely childhood, teenage years that you couldn't pay me $1 million to go back to, because I'm just glad that I'm the person I am now, and I just couldn't go back to that time. So I know a lot of my clients, I know that maybe when you're a kid or a child that you got bullied, maybe for being overweight, or just you were just different, or you think you were being bullied for being overweight. Maybe you directly were. People were calling you fatty or all these, I don't know what, all the words that, or all the names that people called you, but you were bullied as a kid. And I'm sorry that you experienced that. That sucks. I experienced bullying myself. I never had very many friends as a kid. I as a kid, I was not an only child. Luckily, if I was an only child, I think it would have been much harder, because at least I had my siblings and I had other people. But and I had cousins and stuff, but I still had kind of a different childhood. Maybe I brought it upon myself a little bit, but because I was very shy. But I didn't have very many friends. I never went to any junior high or high school dance. I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to any of those things. And I never, I didn't have very many friends from high school. I did do track and field, which I guess I was in a club. I wasn't completely excluded, but I didn't have a lot of friends. And even not purposely, but maybe my mom was part of it, because she didn't let me go out after a certain time, so I could never establish those bonds with people, or she wouldn't let me go to certain people's houses and things like that. But so, but I don't blame that. As you can see, I look different than the average American person. Back where I live, I kind of live in a Chicago suburb, but I was on the south side of Chicago in a suburb, and I was probably one of the only Asian kids in the school. Not the only Asian kid, but I mean, I'm only half Asian, but there weren't very many. There were maybe me, my sister, and maybe like one or two other Asian kids, and that's about it. Everybody else was white, Arab, or black. And hi. So I'm just talking about bullying right now, and everybody else looked differently than I did, and a lot of people made fun of me because of my eyes, or they made fun of me. They just teased me, or I was very shy, and so I don't know if you know, but in Korean culture and in just a lot of Asian cultures, it's very rude to look people in the eye. So maybe I kind of didn't look at people in the eye and they thought I was being mean to them or something. But when I was a child, I did not have very many friends at all. I sat alone at the lunch table. I, you know, I didn't get invited to a lot of stuff. I would like die. Like I just wanted to have lunch outside because then at least I didn't have to look like I was sitting alone at the lunch table. And
Sorry, I totally interrupted her video. But we got the mulch in the right place. That's all that matters.
So we're doing mulch in our yard. But anyway, so when I was younger, I could have brought it on myself. Maybe not, but I really had a lot of time. Like I didn't have classes with even my sister or anything like that. So there are a lot of days that I ate lunch alone, and I would just like I got all my homework done all the time just because I didn't have anyone to talk to. I just did my homework during lunch. I did all this stuff, and then by the time I got home, I just did it all. So I did get good grades and stuff. I slept during all my classes. That could have been part of it because I fell asleep during all my classes. I didn't have anyone to talk to. But there's like this big push right now that to stop bullying kids, and bullying is bad, and I understand that. I could only imagine how hard it is for kids now with like Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all these things that they have. If they're not being bullied in school, they could be bullied on social media and stuff like that. But I think as adults, we are stepping in way too much with kids bullying. I think like it's always worse, like, if you were ever bullied in school, it's always worse if you tell the teacher, all that kind of stuff. You're just going to get made fun of more. But there is a limit to how much somebody can be bullied, and I always think that you should be kind to people, and you should always reach out to people because you never know what they're going through, or you never know how someone's going to react to that. So I'm so distracted because my husband distracted me. But anyway, so a lot of people are all about anti-bullying and zero bullying policy, and I get it because I was bullied, and there's kids who commit suicide because of bullying. They cut themselves, they do all these harmful things to themselves because it's just too much, and kids are mean. People say kids are mean, kids are mean. But it's not always our job as adults to step in all the time. If we see someone being bullied, yes, step in. But I actually believe that a lot of people who are bullied as children and things like that actually live happier lives as adults, depending if they took care of the damage that was done. So if you were bullied a lot, there's of course a lot of damage that was done mentally to you, and maybe you have social anxiety, or you just feel like everyone's out to get you. And for me, for a long time, I think that it's still sometimes hard for me because, like I was saying, a lot of my clients, they'll be like, well, you never had to deal with being bullied. You were never fat. You were never overweight. And no, I wasn't. And I never had to feel like that I wasn't beautiful because I always had that self-confidence in other ways. But I have an issue, and sometimes I think I still do, of relating to people or communicating with people, because I'm always weary that someone's going to talk about me behind my back, or that they're going to do something to me, because I had that happen to me as a kid. I had a lot of that happen to me. Like, just girls would get mad at me, actually, because I guess in gym class, like, I would get all my anger out or all my frustration out in athletics or, running. So in gym class, we had to run the mile, and these girls would get mad at me because I ran the fastest mile that anybody else did. And I'm like, I didn't run it because I was trying to be better than everybody else. I was just so angry. And there's these, I think there is a benefit to being bullied, but you have to make sure that you heal your wounds. So when you're bullied, you do have something to prove, and it can make you achieve things at a higher level than people who are always accepted by everyone else. So when I was bullied, my outlet was running, and I did that because I was just so angry, and I felt like that's the only way I can have one over on somebody else. Like, at least I can do this. Like, maybe I'm not on the in crowd, but at least I can run fast. Like, it wasn't even trying to be better though. I was just trying to run because then it made me feel better. Like, when I ran, I felt like I was flying. And like, that was the only freedom that I had, was to feel like I was actually like escaping the world by running. And so if you still have damage from being bullied when you were younger, that there are certain like therapists, people who can help you with that. You have to take control of that. But there is also an advantage because you always had to feel like you had to push a little bit harder. But the damage is done with your self-worth. So for a lot of time, like, if you were bullied a lot, or you just have like this loss of self-worth, like you don't feel like you fit in anywhere, or you feel like that you're just so different than everybody else. Like, okay, I was born here in Chicagoland area, right? And my father was born here as well, but not my mother. My father was typical Chicago guy. He is German and Dutch. His background is, but he's American man. And my mother was a foreigner from Korea, and she's here. So if I'm in a group of a bunch of Koreans, I don't feel like I belong because I look totally, completely white to them, and I have a different background than them. And if I'm in a group of a bunch of white Americans, I don't feel like I belong either. I feel completely like weird, and I don't feel like I didn't have the same growing up. Like, I didn't grow up the same. So it was always a struggle for me to feel like I fit in with everybody, right? And so I didn't do the same things a lot of people did, like go to high school dances, go to all these things. Maybe just because I didn't have the confidence, maybe because my mannerisms were different. I don't know. I'm not blaming anybody. And people can hold that hurt, like saying kids are mean and all that stuff. But you don't know what those people were going through when they were teasing you. Maybe they had their own issues at home and they were just taking it out. Maybe they were envious of you or whatever. Like, my husband tells me all the time, maybe girls are just envious. I'm like, I don't really think on an envy level. I don't really often get envious of people. There's few times that I do, but when I do, it's like, okay, well, if they could have it, I could have it too. But I don't often get envious of people. It's kind of silly to me. And I don't like thinking of other people as envious because I think most people have good hearts. But if you're a parent and your kid's being bullied, I know it's like sad, and that was like my worst fear for my stepson. I didn't want him to be bullied as a kid, right? That was like my biggest fear. I didn't want him to have to go through what I went through as a child, like so many times, like feeling left out, because I literally like had no friends. I literally had no friends. But I didn't want him to go through that. But on the flip side, the the good thing is he's super, super, super popular. But on the flip side, it's very scary because I don't know what he will do in order to stay popular because he loves being popular. So for me, being bullied all the time and just in my head, I guess, even as a kid, I never cared about, like, I just always wanted to be me. I wasn't going to change for anybody else. So even being bullied, I didn't want to change myself for somebody else. Like, I didn't want to do the cool thing to do just for someone to like me. All I wanted to do was simply just people to like me, for who I was. So maybe I went wrong there, but now as an adult, I still don't feel like I have to please anybody. I just accept my husband and people close to me, but I don't really feel like I have to please anybody. Whereas I feel like a lot of people who were maybe popular when they were younger, they're still trying to get that like attention that they always got. And maybe it sucks because maybe their glory days were in high school or college, and now it kind of, there's like a lot of people who are very popular in high school and college, and when they grow older, they can get very sensitive because they don't feel like they're at that same level. So I actually feel lucky that I don't have to go through that because I was never popular when I was younger anyway, so I don't really strive to be popular now, and I don't really strive for any of that. And sorry, this is like going on and on, but I don't strive for any of that, and I actually believe that that's a very good gift I have, and I'm grateful for my past because if I never went through that, then I might still be chasing popularity or chasing like what everybody else does, but I don't really chase that. And some people who were bullied, yet they're still chasing the approval because they feel like they never got it, right? So I'm not saying everybody who was bullied has this same feeling that I have, but I think being bullied as a kid can be a blessing in disguise. And I talked about this before, blessings in disguise and all that stuff. I really think that it can be a blessing in disguise because it can always get better. Like when you feel like you're bad, it's not gonna get worse than no one talking to you, sitting alone at lunch. You know, like how much worse can it get? Like once you get older, at least, you know. So for those of you who are bullied and whatever, you have a choice actually. And I made this choice after getting out of high school. I made a choice in my mind. I said, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I made it up in my mind that I was gonna make friends. And I said, once I go to college, it will be a new start, and I'm still gonna be myself. I'm not gonna try to please anyone. But I think I was waiting for people to come to me. So I made sure I was very outgoing in college. I actually forced myself to raise my hand in class all the time, answer questions. I forced myself to sit at the front of class instead of sleeping at the back of class or sleep. I actually used to sleep at the front of class because that was who I was, but but I forced myself to really be an outgoing person. So you can change, and I know you're thinking, well, people won't like me. If you find a new start, or if you're stuck in high school and you can't get out of it right now, don't be so discouraged. It will get better, okay? It's not gonna stay like that forever, but you have to decide to make the change within yourself. I'm not saying change who you are. All I'm saying is make the decision. I made the decision. I said, I'm gonna make friends. No one's gonna stop me. I chose to be outgoing, and I wasn't really that outgoing person. I chose to be vocal. I chose to talk to people. I chose to compliment people. I chose to, I really like that purse you have. Where'd you get it from? Oh, that's a cool shoes. That's really nice. Your hair looks really good today. I love your smile. You always make me laugh. Like, there's so many compliments you could give me and give people, and you're gonna disarm them with your compliments. So I'm gonna make a shorter video for the IGTV where I'm not being interrupted, but I just wanted to say that bullying can be a blessing, and if you're currently being bullied, I am so sorry. It sucks, but you can make the decision and it will get better. And it's only temporary, and yeah. So if you need anyone to talk to, you could message me, you could private message me. I am very familiar with it. I still don't feel like I fit in everywhere, and I think there's some damage done from my past and things like that. But I accept myself. I'm okay with myself. I make friends that I like. I don't accept everyone into my life, but I am happy with where I am at. I wouldn't be any other place. And I truly know that if I didn't get bullied or didn't feel left out as a kid, that I wouldn't be the person I am today. So I do have a lot more than some people who never had to struggle with that. So like I said, I'm going to make a shorter version of this video, but if you have any questions or you have any comments, or if you disagree with me, go ahead and comment on your thoughts below. And if you were bullied and you want to, please share your story with me, or share it in the comments, or share some encouragement for other people who are being bullied right now. I think that would be the best thing to do, and I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching so much. I appreciate it. See you next time. Bye.